Even though revenues were higher, therefore, an operating loss was reported. Exxaro slashed its final dividend by a third to 210 cents per share. Earlier, my colleague Gunter Deutsch spoke to CEO Sipho Nkosi to find out what caused those impairments.
The reason why we had to impair the project is that because of the delays that took place in Congo after we had made some investments and the collapse in the prices of iron ore, it became apparent to us that we couldn't continue with the project along those lines at that time. So we decided to impair the project.
And what's next?
What's next now? The board has asked us to extend all the licenses, like your mining convention and all other licenses, to firm up the port and rail agreement, get them signed, do a technical review, which we have done, and we're in the process of reviewing that one. And once all those things are in front of the board, they will make a call on that one. But remember, the iron ore prices have come off quite a bit. And at these current numbers, I'm not sure whether anyone would start the project, like any other player around the world or in West Africa, where they have been trying to develop projects. At these numbers, it becomes a bit challenging.
The coal business is doing well, though. Is it fair to say that whilst we're all having problems with Eskom, you're smiling with them?
No, I'm not smiling. Like any other citizen of South Africa, we are all focused on making sure that we continue supplying Eskom with the coal such that all of us end up getting the power that we require. We are doing our bit insofar as that one is concerned. And I'm pleased to see that within Eskom themselves, they are doing well. As you saw, the unit number 6 is starting to come on stream. So let's wait and see. It's going to happen. You know, people always make statements that Eskom cannot pay.
Yes.
We've never had that problem because they've continued supporting us because they know that we do quite a good job for them. And I think that will continue.
Has the situation made negotiations over pricing a bit more difficult?
No, because, I mean, we have a price.
Yeah.
But because of the delays, there are certain instruments that are there in the agreement that get applied as a result of the, like take-or-pay, like all those kinds of things. And those, you are starting to see them coming through in the results. So, and Eskom have been very diligent in adhering to that.
Margins are quite small at Exxaro. What are you doing to increase them?
Well, margins are what they are, but remember the prices have gone down tremendously. Yes. I mean, there were prices of $120 a ton of coal. Now, on the export side, it's in the 60s, lower 60s. So it's big. But what supports us today is the exchange rate, because in as much as we have lost probably 18% of what we used to have, we still, in rand terms, in dollar terms it's 18%, but in rand terms it's probably about 8%. So that has sort of cushioned us. But we continue looking at many other options of growing our business inside South Africa, as well as together with our sister companies like SIOC, like Tronox, all of them.
The price collapses, no one would have foreseen that because we were all expecting the world to start recovering. It didn't happen. And now China came out with some bad news today for resources companies. How do you view it?
Well, but we must also acknowledge the fact that if it were not for China, we would not have seen this massive growth that we would have seen around the world, which we never expected, probably 12, 14 years ago. But it is happening. And China has to stabilize at some point, and I believe that. I think our role is to ensure that we continue finding other markets and also strengthening our foothold in China, but be realistic on the fact that there is a new normal that is now in place.
Something that still surprises me is when I read media articles about Exxaro, they still refer to you as a coal miner. The diversification has started. How far are you with?
Well, I mean, I keep telling people that if you look at our income bucket, we are diversified in the sense that we get it from iron ore at our side, our Tronox, which is TiO2 business, and as well as on coal. So that in itself shows diversification, but we also continue looking at other commodities. We study them, but for now, really, coal makes a hell of a sense for us. We are focusing on building the coal business because we've got quite a large resource base in South Africa, and we think that there's lots of value and we need to exploit it because it's something that we've got. But it doesn't mean that we're not going to start looking at other ways and means of ensuring that our business continues to be more defensive, which is what is important during these difficult times.
Gunter was speaking there to Exxaro's CEO Sipho Nkosi, saying he's not concerned about Eskom's ability to pay for coal.